as someone who works in the tech industry and someone who's worked in finance, quantitative finance, I feel like there's never a lack of job opportunities. It's more of a question of where do you want to work.
The average starting salary for 2020 graduates was a little over $55K. And this is 2.5% above the average starting salary of the previous year. So there was growth during the pandemic. Technical majors were the highest paid, and the 10 majors with the highest average salary included computer science and engineering, operations research, statistics, and applied mathematics.
One of the core tenets of like a STEM background is critical thinking. And critical thinking is going to be relevant across all industries. And so one of the things that I really like about having STEM background is, you can be as targeted as you like, right? So if, let's say you're an electrical engineer, you want to go work for a firm that focuses specifically on, let's say, what you did your dissertation on. Or you can take that background and you can apply it to something like consulting.
I think to sell yourself, you have to be self-aware, understand what your core values are, what are your strengths and your weaknesses, your likes and your dislikes, and in general, have a work identity that you can grow.
And so for me, I don't have one single resume. I actually have multiple versions of my resume. And that depends usually on the type of job that I'm interested in or the type of job that I'm applying to.
I would say a resume that has exactly what the hiring organization is looking for and that they can discern with very little effort will stand out. So how do you make that happen? Read the position description carefully, know what the qualifications for the job are, and you can then make sure that your resume is tailored to that position description and those qualifications.
First thing I would do is I would go online and look up what do they do, right? And see if there's any way I can get an idea of, is there any media or is there anything online about work that they've done, projects, anything that they've published, just so I have an idea of what they're interested in.
Think about projects you've worked on, before heading into an interview or career fair. Be ready to very enthusiastically describe your contributions. If you haven't had research or internship experiences yet, then discuss an extension to some homework problem that you may have pursued on your own or a research paper you have been enjoying reading. Think about potential generalizations to problems you've studied. If you are asked about a problem that you have not worked on, try to make a connection to what you are familiar with.
During the job fair, the big thing is me asking questions. I want to make sure I understand things. I want to make sure people understand that I'm interested. Usually if they mention projects, if it's something that I have worked on or it's something related to a background, I may try to reference, hey, that sounds very similar to something that I've done before. And then, introduce or talk about that as well.
Who am I? What are my core values? What are my strengths that I will bring to an organization? And then be prepared to deliver this elevator speech, a few sentences, or pitch to a prospective employer when the opportunity arises.
Also, if you have a chance, give them a resume. If you have a physical copy, sometimes it's difficult for people to remember all the resumes that they receive, but I would make sure you have something to leave behind. But then that's one of the great opportunities with the follow-up email. You can leave a digital copy with them. You can give them a link to your LinkedIn. You want to give them the chance to kind of explore what your background is. You want to reemphasize that you were interested. Try to do something that allows them to remember you.
One of the most important advices is to develop a professional network. And there are resources out there for, who should be in your professional network. And the Big Jobs Guide is one of those. Be on the lookout for school or affiliation connections, so same PhD institution as your advisor, for instance. Send emails to people who will be at a conference and ask for 5 minutes to discuss advice for job seekers. Contact recent alumni and ask about their jobs. Ask your internship or research mentor for suggestions.
While you're in grad school, or while you're in undergrad, or while you're just in school in general, try to leverage your university's resources. And so I know, in grad school, I worked a lot with the career development department at Princeton. And one of the things that they did is, they would have seminars on like, how do you write your CV? How do you write a resume for industry? Post things like this as well. But the idea is that there are resources there to kind of show you how to even think about creating resumes, or they would even provide you examples of one.
Look on professional society websites like SIAM for sure, and the MAA, the AMS, the AWM, among others. It would be great if you could learn how to develop a professional network of people who can provide you with information. Be part of local student chapters of SIAM, AMS, or AWM at your university. Look out for opportunities for professional development. SIAM has those. These and others are, resources that exist for you to prepare, for you to learn about career fairs and then preparing for interviews.
You realize it's a finite talent pool. You have all these other companies vying for the exact same talent. Like at this point, if you're really good at what you do, there are bidding wars going over your talent. So I would really encourage interviewers, like, you have more power than you think you do.